Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are starting a new series, Introduction to Ansible Basic Fundamental, how we can set up Ansible locally and what all features we can use and how the Ansible works, right? So Ansible is one of the leading tool in industry as of today, right? So we can use in many ways, like you can integrate Ansible to many other DevOps tools, right? So today we'll see what we can do with Ansible and to what all tools it can be integrated, where the documentation is there, and how we can set up in our local machines, right? So let's start with the Ansible. Ansible is nothing. Ansible is just one of the DevOps leading tool, which we can set mark it as a config management. You can use to provision the infrastructure. Okay, we will see one of the lab where we will try to provision the VM, right? We can use it for as a config management. We can use it as a CI/CD, right? We can use as a security to maintain the security, to maintain the compliance, right? So in all way we can use it. This is the power of the Ansible, right? And whatever the task you are doing manually, right? So we can make it automate, right? Automate using Ansible. So we'll see how we can automate the things. Like we will see one of the example where will we try to update some VMs using Ansible, right? So the setup is regarding, we'll have one Ansible controller machine, okay, where we will install the Ansible, right? And we will take one Ansible client one. We'll have two client in our the, setup. Okay? So this is something you can say that setup, right? But Ansible can handle a lot of machines. So but just to read or just to understand how Ansible works, we will just set up a three node, where first node will be marked as Ansible controller, where we will gonna install the Ansible, and the other two is client node, right? Here you don't need to install any of the tool, right? Ansible or nothing, right? Because Ansible is a agentless tool, right? It just require SSH connection to be work. So that's make require a SSH connection, right? Or if it is a Windows machine, right? So it is require WinRM connection to Windows. Yeah, you heard it correct. We can manage the Windows machine as well with the Ansible. Not only Windows and Linux, you can manage your entire infra, where you can manage your network switches, where you can manage your storage devices, anything you can manage with your Ansible, right? So Ansible is very powerful tool, right? So to start with, right? Yeah, just let me add one more thing. Maybe you can integrate, right? Integration I have mentioned earlier. Let's say you can integrate with the CMDB, right? Which comes with the Snow database, and from there probably you can fetch the inventory, right? Just to maintain how what is happening, right? Or you can what other use case we can take? We can take like if any service request, right? Request is coming, then you can mark it as a like it, which will call the Ansible and you can provision the VM. So that also we can do with Ansible, right? There are other lot of use cases also. I'll try to call all those. Maybe in one of the video we'll just discuss what all use cases or where we can integrate the Ansible. Maybe we'll try to set up one demo as well, probably with the using the Jenkins or something. But that is later. First, let's see how we can set up the Ansible, so that when the next video we'll start the action, right? So yeah, this is just a small introduction for the Ansible, what Ansible can do and what we can ask Ansible to do on our behalf, right? So there is a website called docs.ansible.com. It is very good website. All documentation are very nicely explained here, right? You can take this Ansible and you can use the all modules and how the playbook is running, right? Let me explain one more time. Let me go to the notepad, and here if you see that Ansible module I have mentioned, two words, right? And there is one more I have mentioned, Ansible playbook, right? So going forward in our video, we're gonna discuss in detail all these, but let me see what Ansible module. So Ansible module is something that set of what you can say that roles or probably instructions, right? Which we can club it together and we can ask Ansible to do that stuff on our behalf. That's what we can do. And Ansible playbook is it's written in YAML, right? YAML is a language where we will gonna write the playbook, right? I'll show you that one demo on that YAML syntax how you can make it, right? Where we can place the our instruction in key value format. You can place your list. You can place your what you call it, the dictionary, right? So in any one of them data type you can use, and then you can write your code in that playbook. So that's what that Ansible module and Ansible playbook do. There are a hell lot of things, but yeah, it's just an introduction class, so I'll not go in deep, right? So I'll just discuss how you can set up the Ansible. So this is just the introduction, right? And this is the website where we can read the other documentation, right? So probably in going forward also we will take the leverage of this documentation. So let's see how we can install. So I just mentioned on the install, and probably here you can see there is an option installing Ansible to container. You can container, you can use the pip, that Python module you can install, and that another stuff also you can mention, right? And you can see that control node requirement, managed node requirement. So these are all our settings will go, but today we will focus only the control node requirements, right? If you go there, so they're explaining that what is the requirement for the uh, Ansible control node, right? So there you can see that we have the two package, Ansible core and Ansible. Ansible core is just a small binary, or you can say that minimalist language and runtime package containing a set of Ansible built in, right? And Ansible is a large batteries included package. So we will just start with the Ansible core, right? And then we can see what. So what I have done is, in my local system, I have created one VM, and we have installed on the CentOS 9 there, right? And I have the internet connectivity, and we will install it in the live here. But what you can do is, there are two way, right? You can just create a VM, you can download the image, and you can install it from your server from the scratch, right? But let me tell you, there is one more way. There is a website called osboxes.org, right? So here we have a pre-built images which you can just download, and you can uh, connect those images directly to your VM in the Oracle VirtualBox, and you can start your VM, right? So what I have done is, I went to this VM, right? Whatever that VM virtual tools you are using, I'm using VirtualBox. So I'll just go there, and here you can see, come on. Here you can see we have the lot of images available, right? From the different these platforms, right? Here you can see that we have the Backbox, we have the CentOS, we have the Debian, we have the Linux, Fedora, Linux, Ubuntu, right? OpenSUSE, whatever the your requirement, right? You can just download and you can start using it. So we are discussing about the CentOS. So just click on, and here you can see that VirtualBox images, right? Just go there, and it will show you a different versions here, right? CentOS 9, 8, 8.4, 8.3, whatever. I just chose the latest one and hit on the download, right? It will download one file which you need to extract, right? And then you will get the VDI file, right? And that VDI file will be, what you need to do is, while you are creating a new image, right? Let me show you. Let's just give some random name, Ansible client, okay, and I will just go with the Linux, and Probably here we are using the CentOS. CentOS in not in list, you need to choose other Linux 64-bit, and when you say next, right, just choose whatever the base memory you want to allow and the CPU. Next, here you can see there is an option called use an existing virtual hard disk, right? Either you can create a new, but that is a raw empty disk. There you need to install the OS from scratch. But we have a pre-built image, right? So directly you can use it and you can attach, right? So here you can see I have this CentOS 9, which I have already extracted in my system. You can see the path in F Ansible 64, right? There you can, or anywhere in your system, you can extract it. You can just directly map it. Once that is mapped, you just need to hit next and that will be done, right? And before you start, what else you can do, just check the systems, right? Compute what is the memory you have assigned, what is the CPU you have assigned, and the network. Probably you can just set it to the host only adapter and choose your host only Ethernet, right? So that your VM will get the IP and you will be able to connect to the internet, right? So this thing I have already done, so I'll not go there again. Okay, this is the VM, right? Which I have already booted. Yeah, and one more thing, the password, right? So on the same tab where you have downloaded, you can go to the info, right? So here you can see that username and password, everything is noticed. You can make a note somewhere, right? And the same username and password you can use to log into the machine. Same I have done, right? So here I have just listed the Ansible and it is connected to the internet. We can just try to ping the global DNS. Google one, you can see it is able to ping. So that means that we are able to connect to the internet, right? So let me quickly install Ansible code, okay? And it will asking yes, just say yes, and it will take a couple of minutes and it will be installed. Okay, it is going to. Meanwhile, let's see what else we can check on the docs.managed node requirement. Again, you can see that node requirement. These are the managed node requirement, right? The managed node, including that Ansible is managing, does not require Ansible to be installed. That's what we have discussed initially, right? You don't need to install anything there. It is an agent-less tool, right? And it is a push-based mechanism will work. We will discuss in detail what is push-based mechanism, but it is just install. You don't need to. It just require a Python to run Ansible generated Python. I will just show you how that Ansible will be doing this stuff when you run that, right? And there is a user account that can connect through SSH to node directly. That is the only requirement for the node where you just need to. Okay, so Ansible is installed. Let's see what version we have got. Okay, maybe it is Ansible dash version. So here you can see we have the Ansible installed 2.14.17, which is the latest one as of today. And there is a default configuration file. This is the configuration file, etc Ansible config file, right? And where we have the different configuration. We will discuss what all those configuration is. And there is one more requirement for this to be running, right? That is something inventory, right? So what is inventory? Inventory is nothing, right? Inventory is something that where you need to inventory, right? As the name suggests, inventory is something, the node which you want to manage, right? That is the inventory. It's nothing that some fancy or something. You just need to mention some node's name, right? Node name, like maybe you can mention the IP or you can mention the server name, which is maybe resolvable from the controller node, right? And there are few other additional benefits, but we will have a dedicated video on inventory. So there we will discuss what else other option we can put it in inventory, right? So yeah, so today what I have done is I have just installed these, right? So I will expect from you guys that before coming to the next video, just follow this machine video and for just be ready with your lab, right? If you don't have that much compute or that space in your local system, right? Same thing you can do on the any of the cloud, right? Just have the that cloud account and create one VM, either CentOS or Ubuntu, whatever, and you can follow the same steps, right? You can update and you can just install the Ansible. That's it. So in next video, I will show you like how you can clone this VM to the Ansible client, and then probably we can just try to see one of the module called ping, right? Like how you can set the uh, SSH connection, because it is required a passwordless authentication. It must be it's not interact like where someone will be sitting and say this one, right? Because it must be a passwordless. If you see here, it is something called key. Okay, it is not having that much, probably. Ansible module root Ansible collections bin Ansible. Okay, it is not there, right? So probably we'll see how you can set up your local configuration file, right? There are a priority, like which configuration file should be. So that also we will gonna discuss. And yeah, as I mentioned, it requires a passwordless authentication to the client, right? Generally in the real environment, we'll have a one kind of service account, right, which must be available on the AD or maybe a local account, right? But that must be available with the keys, right? So that Ansible node will be able to connect to those machines without any password, right? So alright, so I'll take a pause here and I will expect from you guys that you will set up your node, and then we'll discuss that how you can set the your client node, and we'll set up in the passwordless authentication in the next video. And from third video, we're gonna discuss the inventory and the playbook, how the playbook is written, what is the YAML syntax and the inventory. And then probably we'll start our real action. Alright. So thank you guys, and I hope you like my video. So please subscribe my channel, share it with your friends, colleagues and everyone, and I will meet you in next. Thank you. Bye bye.